Well. That is what it looks like to be live. Well, hey, baby.
Hello.
Hey, everybody. Guess we'll start immediately. No, I'm kidding, because there's nobody on the live. So what I'll do is I'll just wait for just a few minutes just to see who is. Is that my baby on the line? That's my baby on the line. That's crazy.
Right.
It's crazy because you're on the line, but you're also on my life. I tried to live.
In your life? I think I'm in your
live.
life.
I tried to live and life at the same time. That didn't work.
You know,
Trezington in the building. What's up, my man? I said my man, not man. Like I wasn't trying to like. not man. Not man. It's good to see you, family. I'll try to wait for a few others to get in here. Just a couple more eyeballs. I see a black man raising the fist. That's what that looks like.
Is that what that is?
That's what that looks like. Okay. I suppose that's what it looks like. How you doing, Trezington? How you doing, my good sir?
My good sir.
You still
Is that a raising? I think he's raising his hand. I don't think that's. See, it doesn't show me.
Is that a question?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm not sure.
That's a question. I don't know. Well, 1 or 1,000.
He's raising his hand. So maybe he was waving, saying hello.
Maybe he's waving. Oh, I was supposed to wave back.
I say maybe he's
together.
Thanks, Trez.
So yeah, we'll probably just wait just a few minutes. 1 or 1,000. Just wanted to drop something that was on my heart for New Music November. So every Friday this month, I'm putting out a new piece of content. Can you hear me well? Am I speaking well enough? I sure hope so. I just do this whole poem.
And then nobody can hear you.
And then nobody can hear me.
They're like, we were waiting on you to begin.
Nobody can hear me. It's crazy and amazing. This proves I don't go live like ever, and so
I definitely don't. So
somebody sees my live, they're like, well, whatever. I'm trying to see that. There's one time I went live and I wasn't supposed to. Like I was keeping an archive of me working out. And
I remember this.
Because I was like, all right, well, the easiest way would be for me to, keep track of it on Facebook so that I can, keep it all private. But I can still like add the compilation video later. But it went live and like I got a couple somebody was like, keep up the good work, Dove. And it was like, you weren't supposed to see it. Like it was weird. It was like you weren't supposed to see that at all.
Facebook messing up.
I wasn't supposed to see it at all. Rufus, hey good in the building. Christine Scott in the building.
I didn't say Rufus. This is Rafus.
Ooh. I'm sorry, Rafus. That's my bad, dog. I did not mean.
I got you covered.
I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean that. Esma in the building. Esma. Okay. We got a couple. All right. So I'm gonna just wait just another half an hour just for a couple more people.
I was like, I do not think that needs to be happening.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Feeny Fiend in the Black Phoenix is what he's.
Some interesting nicknames you got here, love.
I just give people... No, it's Feeny Fiend.
That's not what it sounded like.
See, when we used to be roommates way back when he came in, I was like, Feeny, because it's like Phoenix.
Oh.
But I just...
I mean, we can ask the people what they heard, but I did not hear that.
Shout out to David Hutton in the building. What's up, my man? I'm used to it. All right, I will wait till 7:05. 7:05? 7:07. 7:07? All right, I'm waiting till 7:07. This really won't be long, guys. This really won't be too long. I'm not thinking this is going to be longer than probably about a half hour or so. Hey, Rosetta. Miss McLean. Hey, Miss Diane. Phoenix is 7:05. I'm logging out. 7:05. I really appreciate all of you guys for watching. 1 or 1,000. Still going to deliver the same way.
Another time pose.
Don't pull another time.
Thankfully, this is not slam.
I don't think this one is as long though.
I haven't heard this piece, so
but I'm also
with
not
you
sure.
guys.
So, for those of you in here, just in case you didn't know, this is my beautiful fiance, San.
That's not how the word goes.
Fiance.
It's definitely fiance.
Fiance. Her name is San.
Yes.
She loves me back most days. And I'm excited. So, yeah, I'll ramble on for just 2 more minutes, Phoenix. Stay with me for 2 more minutes. 7:07. We will start. We will start. I will not delay for too long.
Are you gonna like?
What's up, David? How you doing, my man? What you up to today? I knew that man from college. We did a cover together. We did a cover and a song together, a Lecrae cover.
Oh, David said he can't stay on, but he wanted to give support.
Oh, well, Dave, I appreciate you, man, and I understand. You should probably not be living while driving. Not sure how well that how well that goes, but I mean, I appreciate the support. You know, if that's what was going on. I had to get some thanks for the good words and energy. I love you, man, and I appreciate you just stopping by. It would have been good, just one person, and that's me and my lady.
Yes.
Eventually, y'all will see it. Eventually, y'all will see it. Oh. Hey, poet. How you doing? It's good to see you, too. Miss Wild Perfection. This is good. This is good. All right, 1 minute. We're going 1 more minute. I start 7:07, and we'll start.
7:07.
Early birds
It's
get
not
the
really
fish.
early. I'm about to say it's not really early.
I mean, it's early. I mean, if you're talking about poets, she said we cute. Huh?
Don't
Do I need a pose?
feed his ego, please. You know,
I did a pose, and then she said it wasn't cool enough. Like I was like,
no,
what is it,
because
smirking too much or something like that.
It's 7:07. Look at that. See, there we go. Timeliness.
All right, beautiful people. 7:07. Shout out to Myra in the building. Hey, family, how you doing? All right, so this is what's happening. If you don't know what this is, it's New Music November. I did it a couple years ago, and I'm doing it again right now. So what's about to happen is, for November, every Friday, I'm dropping a new piece of content. The plan is this Friday, today, is a spoken word. And then in the next 2 weeks are 2 songs that I'm trying to get together. So that'll drop on my Facebook and my YouTube. And then I am dropping an EP. So that is the plan for New Music November. Every Friday, dropping new content. But today, you guys are getting to hear a new poem that I did. And I don't normally do this at all, actually. It's a bit vulnerable in terms of allowing people to a new place that I'm in terms of, not new place in terms of writing, but letting people hear the writing when, you know, it's not officially official yet. I mean, this is the first draft of this poem, but I am interested in hearing you guys' thoughts and perspectives. So how this is going to work is I'm going to drop the poem. Son, she didn't hear the poem yet. I'm going to drop the poem, and you're going to give your feedback on it. This is less of a, oh man, that was super cool, or nah, that was super whack. More of a discussion in terms of what the content is. If you want to say it's cool or it's whack, that's cool. But it's more so of what the content is. I want to discuss it. And we have 2 questions that we're going to ask. Please type in the comments the reflection questions. No, you don't have to type in the questions. Just respond how you feel about it. Okay? You ready?
I'm ready.
You gotta call me up like I'm like.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today we're gonna tune in and we're gonna listen to a new poem by Dove Dupree. See, and you doing too much. It's not even. You don't even have time.
That's crazy.
You don't even have time to clap.
My own lady doesn't clap for me. Okay, so this poem, working title, "Greener on the Other Side." Greener on the other side. When they tell you the grass is greener on the other side, ask to see their hands. You will usually notice no calluses, no wear and tear, because their hands know nothing of toil, of labor, of the hard work it takes to keep a lawn so pretty. This world, these low investment land sharks only teach where the pretty lawns are, never how to keep them up. They don't teach how to maintain it. So more people are moving instead of mowing. Instead of going, they're growing. No, and going instead of growing. Because the grass will always be greener on the other side if you are never home. I knew I wanted to be married when I was 15, have a family and raise children that could never say something like, well, my daddy was a gardener, just for other homes. Didn't like the confinement to one spot, so he thought he would do maintenance for other women instead. And it's hard in a world that teaches the art of how to covet. Like, why don't my grass look like that? They will have you spending all your seasons seeking instead of sowing. I pray we don't lust after a lawn we don't own. May we never be fixated on fixing property, not our home. I don't want to be a peeping Tom. Because while I'm probably peeping what Tom got, he's probably peeping after mine. That's crazy. Now the whole neighborhood is screaming, stay off my lawn. Got us out here spreading our seeds elsewhere because nobody knows how to stay planted. When they tell you that the grass is greener on the other side, ask to see their hands. I ask them what fertilizers they use. How often do they spend watering it? You may find that they think most relationships come with free lawn care. Maybe it would be better if you found value in your lawnmower. I know the workload might be toilsome, but you might just have to toil some, and I get it. There's no shortage of beautiful lawns everywhere, but I'll never pay more attention to what's on their fence than mine. You say the grass is greener where? Not on my block, cause ain't no lawn like the lawn I got. Now I know, and I guess it's also a good lesson to watch who you cohabitate with. You may end up being the one doing all the work and they blame you for why it's so unkept. I hope you watch where you're investing. As anyone going through a rough patch, you may have things that you need to weed out, but we all have dirt. But that's not valid enough to freelance your efforts elsewhere. You know, the biggest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing two people in the garden who had everything that they were missing out on something. So I won't just pray against snakes, against my relationship. I learn how to chop heads and hedges. And if there's something wrong with our grass, we will restore it blade by blade together. If you ever raked a yard before, you know it's so much easier when you're not making it beautiful all on your own. I've learned a lot of people switch sides before they switch sides. Unwilling to do everything it takes to prevent this relationship from being a desolate wasteland together. This grass is owned by two, watered by two, kept by two, raked by two, and it blooms so well when both the property owners take up landscaping. So when they tell me the grass is greener on the other side, I just ask, I tell them it feels good to never have to know. Whew. Yay. Okay, so that was rough. First draft, working title, greener on the other side. But I think I would like to do more of this, to involve more people into the world, which I never really involve people into the writing process. But like I said, first draft of it. Want to know what you guys think. While you guys are starting the comments, I will ask my fiance, specifically, this is your first time hearing it.
Yes.
What are your honest thoughts? And by the way, like, you can be honest. As long as you're respectful, like, you can be honest. You can say, you know, that's not it. I don't like it. I don't like the message. I don't like, you know, X, Y, Z. But, you know, just keep it respectful. But you're allowed to have your opinions, and I would love to hear the opinion of my baby who loves me.
Yes, I do love you.
Who loves me.
I do. So yes, this is my first time hearing the piece. You told me the title of it, so naturally I kind of figured what the theme was going to be on. I think it does a good job highlighting the importance of teamwork in a marriage or any relationship. I think in our current culture, there's a lot of people who are discouraging people from union. It's more so like, you know, look out for yourself and look out for this, which there's nothing wrong with that. There's a balance to everything. When it comes to people making a covenant and, you know, they give up on it for reasons that some would probably consider not valid enough. And I get it, it's subjective, and so it's a very controversial topic. But I think that whenever I hear people say, like, you know, the grass isn't always greener, it's like, I never want to be in a predicament to where I'm wondering about anyone else's grass, right? And if you think about certain situations, people who swear by that phrase, it's kind of like, okay, well, were you putting in that same amount of effort that you were spending looking over there into your own space, into your own marriage? Like, were you actually giving 100% at the end? And I get it. Like, some divorces, you know, people have their reasons, and that's not my space to speak on. But sometimes I wonder, clearly I haven't been married yet, right? But for people that I've heard divorce and some of the reasons that I've heard, a lot of them from personal experience would talk to me about, like, how they regret divorcing, or they regret not having counseling, or they regret not going through therapy because they feel like had they taken the time or been more selfless, that it would have lasted longer. And so this piece for me is relatable only in the sense, not from self-experience, but just witnessing. Just conversations I've had with people, seeing my parents' marriage grow up. And they didn't divorce, but if you ask my mom, you know, now, if she would ever get back with our father, she'd say no. They were married for 25 years. And that saddens me. I guess in a way that does sadden me. It saddened me because I feel like they didn't have to struggle as bad had there been other avenues taken to, like, help fix ailments in their marriage. And so, like, I never advocate for anybody to just suffer in silence, especially if they're married. I feel like there are ways and avenues to advocate for yourself, but also for the marriage that you've agreed to be in. And if those things don't work, by all means, that's their business. But this piece, I think it just highlights the importance of how it's not one person versus the other, that it's them versus the problem, and that it's two people in a space fighting for what they're trying to build and what they have. But
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah,
Absolutely.
no, well, obviously I have 1,000 thoughts on that, but let's see what you guys are saying in the live. We got some snaps. Appreciate you, Christine. Powerful message. Love it by Black Sock. Thank you, Sock. Appreciate you in the building. Trez. Sheesh. You did this, sir. I love it. Caught the end, but it was a great perspective. Thank you, Miss Johnson. Phoenix said, you did a great job with the angle of the message and was well structured with the theme of the gardener working on a relationship. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So I'm going to read this last comment. I want to ask you guys a question. Just 2 questions. So you guys can type your type your responses in there. We should probably start with the question to give people time. Sugar, would you like to read the
first question?
The first question.
So it's asking specifically, like, what does the phrase "the grass is greener on the other side" mean? Yeah. And I guess, is that like what it means to them, or what they mean objectively, like in general?
I guess what it means on both sides. Like when you hear "the grass is greener on the other side," what does that mean to you? Like what does that mean to you, objectively and subjectively? Maybe you heard somebody say it, or you seen somebody live that out. What does that mean to you? What does that mean to you guys? I think for me, hearing "the grass is greener on the other side." Now, before I say that, in a poem, you know, I'm trying to write shorter, particularly for different avenues I get to go to, perform, and also slam, if I slam with things. So all of the concepts and all of the ideas that we want to put in are not going to be able to be put in. But I do understand there was a side of, I understand a lot of people go through a lot of different things. And, you know, I'm not in somebody else's lawn, so I can't, you know, I can't specifically say that somebody, I guess, is not trying enough in a relationship that I'm also not in. It's easier to say that from the other side, I guess. But just like San was saying, I think from my perspective, that seems to be the going rate of "the grass is greener on the other side." Like there's so much, you know, dating app, swipe left, like just get a divorce, like just think about other self. When you're thinking about a marriage, when you're thinking about being with somebody, you say "till death do us part" for a reason, but it's two people working together intentionally to make that thing happen, right? If it's just one person doing it, then obviously, you know, I can understand how, oh, the grass is greener on the other side. But if it's two people working together saying, "I love you, I'm going to love you as I love myself." Like the word says, like, I'm going to love you like I love myself. I'm going to forgive you. I'm going to choose to love you. I'm going to choose to look out for you. I'm going to choose you every single day over and over again. I'm going to make that choice for you. When both people are doing that, then I think it's easier to say, no, this grass is beautiful. This property is beautiful. There's no need to go trying to seek something else from somewhere else. We will make this beautiful right here. And if it's not, we will fix it. Like I said, blade by blade, like we will figure out how to do the landscaping, how to do the lawn care. But that also has a lot to do with who you choose to marry and have it with. Let's check out some of these comments. You want to read? I know Sock left 2 comments. You want to go back to the first comment? Or?
Yes. He said, "You will live a life of misery wondering what could have been. You never know what someone deals with when you leave or get exited." What did that say? Out of their life. So yeah, that is, I mean, that's real. What is this? Black Phoenix was underneath that. I don't know what his second comment was.
Hold on, you will live a life of misery wondering what could have been. You never know what someone deals with when you leave or get exited out of their life. Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. Phoenix said, "I always think of it as be thankful for what you have. It's always going to look like someone else has better." Yeah. When you're dealing with problems and you're dealing with issues, to say like they don't look like they have issues, I want that. That just seems like the easiest thing.
But also, like, if I may, back to, was that Black Socrates saying the what if? That's a game that I don't even like to play in general. And I teach Naomi that as well. Like, the what if game, it can be very detrimental because it causes you to sometimes think of reality that is not real. And then you can hyperfixate on that. You can want that instead of attending to what you currently have and what you've been blessed with. And I think in anything, it's not even just relationships. But when he said like the what if this, I'm like, it's not even a game I play with. Like, what if? Like, but what if? And usually sometimes people play that game, I think, when they're looking for, like, it's kind of like escapism. Like, they're looking for a way out of where they are instead of dealing with what they're supposed to be dealing with.
Yeah.
And so they start playing the what if game. What if I? Which I'm not saying is always bad, but that's just something that I like to stay away from in general.
Yeah. No, I see that. I see that very much. The what if game is kind of risky. Not sure if that's exactly what you were talking about,
Right.
Sock.
Well, he said spend your whole life wondering what it, like, and that's what made me think about it.
Spend your whole life wondering. Oh, yeah. Because you're just kind of, thinking about what if. But then again, I think what if, and correct me if this is not where you're going, Sock, but like the what if, then there's kind of like an infinite amount of what ifs, right? Because as soon as you're on this grass, who's to stop from that grass just looking a little bit more pretty than this grass at this current time? And then you what if yourself to that grass and then kind of start wandering. Christine said, would you like to read?
I love the message of tending to one's own grass/yard. In the same breath, the topic of relationships is very multicolored. No, quote unquote, one size fits all, end quote, not quote unquote black and white. It's definitely a combo starter.
Yeah. No, I agree. And like I said, I wanted to, and it's good to get these reflections on the poem because, like I said, I don't want people to walk out like, well, you don't know how it's been. Like, you don't know how it's been over here. I think talking from my perspective of what I see in the world is the world does not really favor building together. The easier thing is to move on. The easier thing is to go somewhere else. The world does not teach love her like you love yourself. The world does not teach submission both ways. The world does not teach putting someone else's needs before you. And so I think that's mainly where that was stemmed from. Sock said, it means that you view another side as better than yours, but you have no idea what it took to make that yard look so good. Absolutely. Can you provide the next question? By the way, we would like for you guys to answer the question or to engage a little bit with the question. We really won't keep you guys long. It's just 2 questions, just to get a little bit of conversation going on this piece. But the second question is,
why do we think that people believe the phrase, the grass is greener on the other side?
Okay. Why do we think that people believe that the grass is greener on the other side? Obviously, we kind of talked about it a little bit, but why do we think people believe the grass is greener on the other side? You think the grass is greener on the other side, baby?
No. I think the grass has pesticides in it on the other side. There's droughts. Okay. No, but seriously, I don't really know. I think that from a lot of the stories that I've heard from people talking about the grass being greener, it's usually resulted in some form. Most times, there have been a few who are like, I don't regret a thing. But there have been most people who are like, yeah, I regret this, or it's not as good as I thought it was. And so for me, in my perspective or experience with speaking to people who've been through that, and the general consensus being that it was regrettable, or like, no, I don't know why people still run to that phrase or believe that it's so effective or so true. I really don't know. I don't know if it's denial. I don't know if it's just like being fed up with their current situation where they've been. I'm not sure if some people, probably did marry the wrong person because they didn't take the time to like vet them or date them or do the things. And so they found their person after they've already made that covenant. And it's like, and that goes back to like making sure you choose who you do life with well, so that you don't have to. And sometimes things just happen, like irreconcilable differences and people, but a lot of that I feel can stem before they even make that decision. A lot of it, not always, because sometimes things happen that are unforeseen and so on and so forth, and that's not something I'm trying to play with. But
yeah, for those of you who just joined in, I dropped a new poem called "The Grass is Greener on the Other Side," which talks about the obvious, that the grass is greener on the other side, but with a different perspective. And we're just doing a couple of questions. We just asked 2 questions. The first question was, what does that phrase mean? The grass is greener on the other side. And the last question is, why do you think that people believe that? And yeah, so we're going to keep looking at some of these comments. You guys are definitely feel free to answer these. Oh, scroll up. My woman says I need to scroll up. You know what's funny? Side note, has nothing to do with this. I'm also a teaching artist along with 17 other things. And I was in school yesterday and I was recording one of the kids for like the video project that we're doing. And he was like, when it was time to cut, he was like, okay, cut. And he was like whispering as if the camera didn't pick up the fact that he...
So is that what you're saying I was doing just now when I said scroll up?
No, baby, I love you. So
scroll up is what I'm trying to say.
Scroll up is what she's saying. Okay, so we have Powerful. Thank you, Miss Diane. Thank you. Hey, Malia. Dennis Finn. Hey, Dennis. What's up, man? What does bring them on video mean? What is that? I have to figure that out later.
If they want to join your live, babes.
Okay. You got it right. But what is that? Aren't they live right?
No, like if you want their video to pop up in your video.
Why would
Tandem.
Why
Like
would
if
I
I
wanna
want to
do that?
have dialogue for the world to see live.
Baby, you just released a gem. Next time we're doing that, everybody is invited. Everybody is invited. No, don't go. Don't go. All right, you got it right. Personal story when we talk. I hear you. Unfortunately, the reality of this life is also that some people may have chosen wrong, and that's a whole different convo. And that is very true. Yeah. That is very true. Hey, Miss Connors.
Hey, Ashley.
Stephen Thompson. Hey, Stephen. Hey, Miss Simone in the building. Madeline Garcia. Hey. The answer to grass is greener question, we are never satisfied. A lot of immature-minded people truly who haven't learned how to be content with what they have, house, spouse, job, physical looks. It's our human nature to look and compare. However, with maturity comes focus.
And devotion, yeah.
Focus and devotion with a capital F. No, yeah.
The whole word.
Coveting is a real thing. And it's so unfortunate. You know, we all covet in some kind of manner. But the being able to look at what you have, now there's nothing wrong with growth, but I mean, it's a different situation. I mean, we're in a relationship, we're getting married. And so like growing our relationship, that is one thing, but to like, okay, I want a different job, or, you know, I want to better myself in my career and who I am as a person, that's different. Okay. Let me see. Okay, you want to read Sock's comment? And this seems to be the last comment. If you guys want to...
No, there was one above it from Dennis Fender.
Oh, my bad, Dennis.
Dennis said, it's okay. Dennis said, people believe the grass is greener because they don't walk through it. They don't tend to it. They are not close enough to see the weeds. With social media, quote unquote, it only gives you the highlights. It only gives you what will get the most likes, the most comments. It's media, which is designed to attract what life is meant to be lived.
So are you a poet, Dennis? Is that what you're trying to say? Are you a poet too? Because you could just write your poem. You could just write your own. No, that beautiful. That I think that's beautifully said. I think that is very beautifully said. Facebook is all likes and comments and
social media, yeah, media.
Just sharing, sharing and comparing. But no, I feel that. I believe that.
You want to read Christine's? Well, that was Black Socrates, sorry.
Black Socrates. Okay, so the last comment, by the way, if y'all want to slide in one more comment, you can. If not, then this would be the last comment of the night. And I appreciate you guys very much for just tuning in for a few minutes. Okay, so Sock says, and by the way, Black Socrates is a dope poet. I know him for a couple years in the poetry community. And he's a very talented man. I was about to say young man, but I don't know who's older or not.
just continue.
All right. So Sock says, as humans, we need to try to justify our actions and circumstances juxtaposed to those that our society deems as doing well. I've gotten to a space in my own healing that there's no way of knowing what goes on in someone's relationship network you're not in. The best way to deal with past relationships, platonic or romantic, is to accept your decisions and to end the end of those relationships. He said, I'm 31, sir. Sorry, man. Oh, wait. I am young man. I'm 33. I thought he was... Wait. Anyway, yeah. Do you have any comments on that? You have any last minute comments on that?
No, I think that kind of what he's saying...
Hey, Tyler.
Oh, Tyler.
Thank you for coming.
It seems like at the end when he's talking about like to accept your decisions, that kind of ties into what Christine was talking about a maturity aspect. I think the truth is there needs to be maturity before entering any covenant or any relationship. And I think sometimes people are more obsessed with the wedding, not the marriage, or they're more obsessed with the way they look, but not the real relationship. And then they get disappointed when life be lifing and things become difficult. And they're like, oh, this is not what I thought this was, what have you. And so I feel like maturity definitely needs to be there. And people just need to be on the same page. I think communication is big. It's huge. Well, healthy communication, right? Because we all communicate, but there's a right and a wrong way, or an effective and ineffective way to do that. So I feel like if people are communicating effectively from jump in the beginning, and they're having those conversations, it's more so kind of like, yeah, well, do we want the same things? And am I giving you love in the ways that you receive love or acknowledge these actions as love? But that's a whole different conversation. But loving people in their love language is also important. Knowing what their love languages are, very important. But I definitely hear what Sock is saying, what Christine is saying. Everybody had a lot of valid points. And I thank y'all for your input.
Awesome. Thank y'all very much for sticking to it. It's 37 minutes long. Do you count that as long for this?
Are you asking the people? That's too left.
I don't know. Thank you guys for you two who have remained. Thank you to everybody who came in the live. Just a reminder, New Music November. Every Friday this month, I'm dropping a new piece of content, so you can check it out on my Facebook and my YouTube channel. Thank y'all for tuning in to my poem. This is my lovely fiance, San.
I'm mad close.
You are mad close.
Camera. That was a lot going on.
You are mad close.
Relax.
All right. Till next time. I'm not sure if this is the same exact format that I would do next time or next week or nonetheless, but I really appreciate you guys. You guys have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Exit the video. You're doing too much. See?